Do you know what these photos have in common? They were all taken with a long exposure. In other words, the camera shutter had to be left open for a long time in order to get the desired effect. Using a slow shutter speed can change the way a photo looks, by freezing or showing motion, or by capturing more in dim lighting. If you have a camera that can be set manually, you have the ability to do long exposures. By using TV or shutter priority, you can manually set the shutter speed. You can use the manual or bulb settings on your camera for even more control. Long exposures have a shutter speed that's set for at least 1 second or longer. You will also need a sturdy tripod, a remote shutter release, and sometimes a neutral density filter. I'm here to show you an example of what it is to take a picture in low light situation. I have a nice little still life here with little lights that kind of resemble a Christmas tree type setting that you would probably be taking a picture of around the holidays. So in order for this picture to turn out the way I want it to, I'm going to have to use a slow shutter speed in order to get the ambient light and also the little lights in the planter. So I have a long shutter speed, I have a higher aperture so that I keep my sharpness intact, and also I want a lower ISO so that we don't have noise in the picture. So if I were to handhold this, this is what it would look like. So as you can see, it's very blurry. There's no way possible that I can hold a camera that steady for that long and still get the picture that I want. So this lens that I have on, it's the Tamron 17-50 2.8, has a stabilizer on it. Their version is called VC, so I'm going to turn that on, and that's supposed to help with us shaking the camera a little bit. So let me see if that helps at all. So it did help a little bit, but it's still not ideal. We still have a lot of blur and a lot of wiggle. So the only way that we can completely get rid of that is to put the camera on a tripod. And this is the ProMaster XC525. It's one of their professional tripods. It also has a monopod built into it. And the other thing I'm going to use to completely reduce the amount of shake is a ProMaster remote shutter release. And what that's going to do is it's going to completely take me out of the equation, so I'm not touching the camera at all. So I'm going to try this shot again using the tripod and the remote, and we'll see how it works. Great, so as you can see, the picture is perfect, it's stable, and you can still see all the ambient light and the little lights in the planter. When shooting in bright conditions, a neutral density filter will allow you to use a slow shutter speed without overexposing your photo. With this ProMaster variable neutral density filter, you can dial in exactly how dark you need the filter to be. Here are some other useful tips when doing long exposures. Bring something to weigh down your tripod if you're shooting in a windy location. Use live view so your camera's mirror doesn't vibrate while taking the photo. Use an eyepiece cover to prevent unwanted light leaks. And turn off the stabilizer on your lens. You're using a tripod, so you won't need it. Have fun experimenting with shutter speeds to create different looks and moods for your photos.